Hey everyone, guess what? I'm back with a new movie review. Yep, now, this one isn't really a top 10 countdown, but we'll continue it later. But enough with that being said, I want to talk about something real quick. Remember I was bummed out about the two movies I decided to watch? Raya and the Last Dragon and Sponge on the Run? Well, here's some bad news about that. Yes, I did hear that the Black Widow just got delayed. I was really bummed out about this too. So, yeah. I need to watch a live action movie to do a movie review, and I couldn't decide either between Black Panther or the movie which you are seeing right now. But the Black Panther, well, it kind of had a little bit of too much stabs. Yeah, I know it sounds not appropriate. So with that being said, I decided to pick Solo, a Star Wars story. Yep, I decided to pick this because I need some action in it, and I thought like Solo, a Star Wars movie sounds good. And since I've did a Rise of Skywalker once, I decided to do another Star Wars movie, and there will be an announcement coming up real soon. Okay, before this starts, this may contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen Solo, well, during 2018, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't see it. Go ahead and pause me first, then go ahead and watch the movie either on Disney Plus or if you have the DVD, you go watch it then. And then when you're done watching it, unpause me and then go ahead and continue. Or if you're into spoilers, go on ahead. Also, of course, you might be wondering why am I not using the camera I used from the last video. It's because this one kind of has almost a dying battery, so I need a charger to help charge it. But I think you can see my eyes well. All depends on it. Okay, now how should I start this? In a galaxy far, far away. Well, it didn't have the cool intro thing, but start off with two orphans who are Han and Kira, who are boyfriend and girlfriend. Yep. While they're stuck on a planet of slavery, Han stole a spear and managed to escape and told Kira that she found something. It was some kind of like a gem that worked that much. So with that being said, they were planning to escape using the Emperor thing. But right before that, they were caught by someone suspicious. So with that being said, I don't really remember the name, but she knew something was up, and she wanted the coaxium from Han or Kira. But luckily enough, Han came up with a plan to distract him by throwing a rock near the window, which caused the boss to hit back in the wire because she was kind of afraid of sunlight. And then, with that being said, Han and Kira escaped the bosses with the spear they were going through. They were passing on some few police cars, and they were trying to escape with the tiniest hatch, which they got through, and they got kind of stuck a little bit. So with that being said, they managed to get through the spaceport thing, where Han delivered the coaxium to the guard, Alright, and right as they were going to pass through, Kira was captured by bosses, and then causing Han and Kira to separate a little bit. Han promised to come back for her later, but with that being said, Han had to go undercover to join the Emperor as his new last name, Han Solo. Yep. And then 3 years later, Han and some of the other troopers were fighting off some kind of like a middle-aged fight between a rebellion, which Han met and these three troopers, Big Head and his wife Val, and they're some kind of random dude who was following along. Han notices something. They're not really pilots. They're not pilots, troopers. They're like refugees. These who are going undercover to find something. Han wanted to be in, but sadly, he wasn't joined in. He was pushed down to get eaten by the beast, which the beast was actually a mysterious Wookiee, which they had battle with. But here was a surprising thing. Han was speaking Wookiee and has a plan to escape it, which was a huge success. And right after that, the refugees, and one of them was actually an alien disguised as the pilot. I kind of forgot his name too, but yeah. They were trying to escape, but luckily enough, Han and the Wookiee were trying to get them to follow along. But Big Ed knew that something's up with the kid. So with that being said, he decided to bring Han along with the Wookiee, and then they escaped in time. And what was the kind of the disturbing part was Han and the Wookiee were taking a shower together. But then after that Han and the Wookiee started talking about who they were, and you barely guessed it, the Wookiee's name is Chewbacca. So yeah. Then right after that, Bickett, Val, and Ryu were trying to go undercover in order to get their prize position, and it was a train filled with coaxium, which they need to capture it and deliver it. But with that being said, they have to be prepared for a little bit. So then they decide to camp out a little bit. But then there was something. They started talking about their backstories, which Han mentioned that he wants to find a ship and come back to Corellia to find his love interest, while Chewie, well, he was a prisoner who was captured and separated from his Wookiee kind. But I hope they'll be able to find that. And of course, Big Cat was Big Cat and Val were kind of like a married couple, who were also, of course, a group to who were working for Crimson Dawn, and Ryu was their pilot. And then right after that scene, it was time to capture the coaxium, which they were trying to avoid the stormtroopers who were trying to take it back. But there was another problem. A bunch of pirates were trying to get the coaxium too, but they were trying to fight it off. But then Ryu was trying to get one of them off of his ship, but then he got shot. With that being said, Han had to take over while Ryu was dying. And then, with that being said, Val was trying to set up the bomb, so that way they could lift up the train car with the coaxium, but it was no use. She was in a struggle. So with that being said, she sacrificed herself to get the train to explode, which caused the car to lift up, but they're trying to fight over it. But luckily enough, Han managed to get the cables off, which Biget was kind of like not too pleased about out. So with that being said, he kind of socked it in the face for messing up his mission to deliver the coaxium to Drain Voss, the boss. Woohoo. I wonder what he's going to do. So with that being said, they come up with the idea. Han and Chewie agreed to help him out by finding more coaxium. So with that being said, they decided to form their little alliance, and then that's when they stumble upon Drain Voss's yacht. But here's the thing that Han had to follow. Since it was Voss's part already in the yacht, they get told not to interact with anyone because they're not his friends, and then went out to get a drink. But then Han couldn't keep his feet down and decided not to talk to anyone and decided to look for some few things. But then there was a little reunion between Kira and Han. That's right. After 3 years, they had been reunited, which Han was surprised about, that he would come back for her on Corella, but it turns out she was in Crimson Dawn, working for the boss, which it was a big shocker. But then, right after Bickett found him out that Han was Kira's childhood friend, he asked if where was Drain Voss was, and he was doing like a little talk with someone, and by little, I wouldn't say that. It showed off a scene with him stabbing someone and then throwing him off. But then, right after that, Drain Voss had a huge disappointment for a Big Cat for losing the coaxium, and he was wondering how he would get it. But Han came up with the idea of how to get more coaxium, and it's by stealing some from a mine they thought of, which Drain Voss did want to disagree because he was part of the syndicate with the slave miners, but Han was smart enough to try at least anyway. But then he did accept it anyway, so that way he could get more coaxium. But then they would need a ship fast enough. Luckily enough, Kira knows someone who could get a faster ship. She says he is one of the best pilots ever who could fly a spaceship around. And you probably guessed it, they're at some kind of like a brew shop, where they have a lot of robot fighting and some few Sabek things. And you probably guessed it, the pilot is Lando Calrissian. Yep. The smuggler, who was once the company owner of the Cloud City. He was once a smuggler and a pilot, but Han had an idea. He challenged him to a Sabek challenge where if he wins, he gets his ship, but if Lando wins, he gets his ship. Yep. So with that being said, he accepted. Lando and Han and some of the other players of Sabek, they were betting them out for money and stuff. Han was about to win, but Lando cheated and won it. So with that being said, he won the game. Unfortunately, Kira asked Lando if he could use his ship for a mission. Han was pretty like, what? Like, he would just ask for it, for some help. But, yeah. Lando did accept, but, unfortunately, Lando's autopilot, L3, was kind of having a robot drama. But unfortunately, Lando managed to stop her in time. But then, after that, they were trying to get to Lando's ship, which he had to lock it away for safekeeping. Han thinks it was going to be like a Lane ship, but it turns out to be The Millennium Falcon. Yep. Now don't get surprised about this. This was actually the original design of the Millennium Falcon right before it was kind of like torn down or something. But yeah, this is the original version before the sequel. Yep. And right after that, they kind of were off to the plan where they could find the coaxium mine, and after that, they had some few things, like for example, Han and Kira were about to make out, but unfortunately, Big Cat had stopped in there because they have a mission for them. And Big Cat also said he doesn't trust anyone, so that way they have to go through it. Then I kind of skipped a part, but I was checking out the ship and was really impressed. And he was about to try the autopilot, co-pilot, but unfortunately L3 came in to stop them. And another scene where Chewie was playing in the game that he always plays and hates to lose. But then, right after that, came the part where they made it to the slave planet, which Kira was disguised as one of the slave trainers to train Han and the Wookiee in Chewbacca in disguise, which they were successful. They the others managed to get into the control room while Han and Chewie were distracting the guards. And here's one of my favorite parts of it. It showed off Chewbacca ripping off a guard's arms. It was super funny for me because it brings me back to the time when I was very young and I played the Lego Star Wars Complete Saga game, and I loved it when I played Chewbacca and he just popped off his arms. That brings me back memories. Okay. And then after that, they were trying to get to the mine area where they were trying to find it. Where L3, however, L3 was crazy enough to start like a freedom rebellion, which was causing a distraction to get the refugees along with the Han and Chewie to get the coaxium. But Chewie noticed something, that his family was being treated by the slave guards, which he decided to save his family. Then Han continued with the mission to get the capsules of coaxium, and he didn't just have to get one, but 12 of them. I know, it was pretty crazy, right? And Lando, while he was trying to work on his video diary thing, he noticed that the rebellion was going on crazy. So with that being said, he had to fight along. With that being said, they're having a battle in the mines. Well, Chewie was about to escape, but he have mission to be with his new friend Han. So with that being said, Chewie had to say goodbye to his herd in order to help with Han in his mission to get the coaxium out of there. Yep. And luckily enough, they managed to get all the coaxium out and managed to escape. But there was one thing that happened. L3 got blasted, causing her to explode, which Lando had to come to the rescue and try to get L3 out of there. But then Han also came in and saved him. Unfortunately, L3 was damaged. It causing Lando to feel disappointed and upset a little bit. But right after that they did escape. But then the Emperor ship came in to attack Lando and the Millennium Falcon to and the rebellion from the mine. But luckily enough, Han was piloting this thing while Lando was trying to get L3. He's reading chip off and putting it in, which they used it as a navigator. But then, right after they got through it, there was another thing that happened. A giant creature, the size of a planet, came out of nowhere and started attacking the Millennium Falcon. Luckily enough, Han's craziness came in and had a plan to escape it, which he launched the escape pod, which caught the creature to catch it, but then it also got caught into the vortex, ripping it off flesh to bone. Oof. I know, it sounds pretty gross, but they managed to escape it and get off to another planet, and then, right as he got off, they managed to escape, land on another planet for safety, but unfortunately, Lando wasn't very happy about his ship being wrecked off, thanks to Han, so he doesn't like him anymore. But then, right after that, they were trying to relax a little bit, try and get their energy back up a little bit, at least what I think they're doing. But then right after that, Han and Kira had a conversation about the Crimson Dawn thing that she doesn't really work for her, but unfortunately she has to due to the fact that she needs to live. It's at least what she has to say. But Han was neither a trooper or a pilot. He was an outlaw, like he was meant to be. So with that being said, Kira did accept it, but then right after that scene, Sky Pirates came in. But they were different. Their leader was Enfys Nest, who told him the truth about the why they were aftering it, because it was the Crimson Dawn who were trying to do something bad for it, which Han comes up with an idea to make sure it doesn't happen. But right after that scene, Big Ed said he had to leave and be on his own because he had a score with Crimson Dawn he had to finish, but has to go off on his own. Now, Big Ed was a supporting mentor for Han because he knew he had great things. So with that being said, Han decided to finish the mission by giving the coaxium to Dryden Voss, which he figured out it was fake because his second partner told him it was, but it wasn't Kira. It turned out to be Bickett. Yep, he double-crossed Han because he needed to make sure that the plan didn't work. So with that being said, Dragon's forces came in to capture the real coaxium, but then Han was smart enough because the coaxium the Cloud Pirates had was actually empty, and the real ones was with Han. So with that being said, Bickett and Chewie escaped with it, leaving off with Han, Kira, and Dryden to a really tough battle between them. Dryden instead they should join versus to go after Bickett, but Han refused and tried to finish him off. But then Kira attacked Han for no reason, but then decided to attack him. But then there was a shocking thing that happened. Dryden Voss got Kira had to cover her about this, so that means Han had to go after Bickett and save Chewie from getting shot down. And while after that scene, Kira took the reign from the dead body of Dryden Voss to speak to Voss's mentor or superior, which was surprisingly Darth Maul. Or just Maul. Yep. Now, for the ones who watched the Solo movie and surprised that Maul was alive, yep, that's a real shocker. Or if you saw the Clone Wars thing, and where you found that Maul was also alive, you can see that one. But then Kira made a cover that the mission was a failure and the coaxium was stolen. So with that being said, Maul commanded Kira to come over to a planet where they could finish the score. I wonder what will happen. Okay, and right after that scene, Han managed to come in front of Big Cat and to sell the score. He figured out that Dragon Voss was dead and was about to take a shot at like a duel, but right before he was ready to shoot Han, it turns out it was Han who shoot it first. So with the dying Big Cat on the trail, Han did remember the times he had and as a supporting mentor, but then was double-crossed. He then died, but then right after that, the ship was flying off, leaving the long-lost memory of Han and Kira, which was kind of sad for him. Well, it wasn't a real cute couple, if you know what I mean. If you're into the Star Wars trilogy, then you'll see what happens next. But then, right after that, Infest got the coaxium and was about to leave, but then offered Han something to join the rebellion. Han refused a little bit and decided to go on his own, but he will join. Wink, wink. But then, she did get a little bit of coaxium, in which Han needed to get a ship. But then, right after that, Han reunited with Lando, which I forgot, he kind of ditched him. But all is forgiven. And then, they had another rematch for the ship thing again. And then, with that being said, Han claimed victory and won the Millennium Falcon. And now, it belongs to Han Solo and his co-pilot, Chewbacca. Yep. Alright, now before the outro, I just want to say, I really love the Star Wars trilogy so much. And maybe someday, I might do a movie review on the rest of the Star Wars trilogy. Because I never got a chance to mention about the things on Rise of Skywalker and Solo, a Star Wars movie. So, maybe in the near future, I might do a trilogy on the Star Wars. Now, don't forget, 2 movie reviews coming real soon. One is going to be this month, and next one's going to be on next month. And 2 of them are the final 2 of the top 10, 11 through 20 favorite Disney movies of all time. Hey, it's me, BDH, but I'm also known as the Brick Dragon Hero. That video was great, huh, Applex? You said it, BBJ. And if you want to see more of the Brick Dragon Hero videos, all you gotta do is subscribe. Follow Brick Dragon Hero on Instagram. Like for this video. Share this with your friends.
And comment down below what you think of that video.
And don't forget to check out the last video. So thanks for watching and have a brick day. Whoosh.